everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're just stopping by for the first time, you're welcome. For those who have been here following me through this journey, it's because of you I'm literally still here, pretty much, right? So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a continuation of the previous video I did on RFM. So it was titled getting started with S3, right? Because the whole point of this video literally is to ensure that I'm able to have the data stored in a bucket in AWS S3, and also which is cloud service, and also then bring it to Athena. So Athena would serve as our platform for querying the data using SQL, pretty much, right? So in this video, I'm going to then continue the analysis using SQL, right? And the whole point of this is to do an RFM customer segmentation for our customers in a supposed company called, let's say, company A, I guess. So yes, follow me as we go through this journey together, and I'm going to give you a rundown as to what the whole purpose of RFM is and why I feel this is a very, very fun project for you to start with. I'm going to cover every single thing that you would need to learn in SQL, things around CTEs, around using partition, Windows functions, right? Group by, order by, the most basic, and then also like take you to the most advanced complex SQL queries, right? And it's going to be a fun one because you're also going to learn how to use different type of functions like date pass, for example, and understand different flavors that do exist while analyzing your data in Athena. So follow me along as I guide you through this journey together. So now let's understand what RFM is: recency, frequency, and monitoring. So RFM is more like a customer segmentation technique. So you are literally analyzing your customer data based on how often they purchase, how much, so what's their purchasing power as well, and how recent they also purchase. And it's also effective when it comes to also carrying out campaign. So as a company, it's something that you should actually look into if you're trying to target the right people for whatever campaign you do have ongoing, right? And also helps to increase customer loyalty as well too. So for the first one, which is recency, question is how many days ago did your customer actually make a purchase? And what you just do is show just the difference of the most recent date they purchased from today, and then get your recency. Then again, frequency, how often they purchase, how many times has the customer come to purchase from your company or from your store or whatever mall, right? So that's what frequency is about. And then monetary values, the purchasing power, how much do they even spend when they come to shop on your site or your website or on your store, right? So how much did the customer actually spend? And that's the whole point of RFM. And the thing is, any customer who has a higher purchase or even a higher monetary value or a higher frequency value would actually have a higher RFM value technically, right? So it means that with this way, we're able to even know how to even target our customers, right? It helps us to segment our customers. So who are your most loyal customers? Who are your best customers? Who are even your most potential loyalists? Who are people that you know that are you profitable for your business literally? How can you even target them in such a way that you can probably provide coupon codes, referrals for them, that when they purchase from you, they get an extra, I don't know, discount or something around that line. And also which group of customers is also likely to respond to your current campaign as well too. So this is a very good analysis for even digital marketing as well too, because that way you're able to target only the right customers and not just like all of your customers. Do you understand? So you're targeting people who need to receive the campaign rather than 100% of your customers. Data is currently in the S3 bucket. What we have to do right now is to bring that data. So I tagged data orders.csv. I got the file as CSV file. Now that I have my S3 bucket, I'm going to then have it sent to my Athena. So Athena is going to act as my where I'm going to query data entirely, right? So in here, now that I have it in here, I'm going to then bring in the data, or create a table rather, from S3 buckets, and I'm creating a table name pretty much, and also now create a DB as well too, right? The database that will hold the table. So we're gonna have RFM data orders, RFM data orders, and then you can either decide to skip the description, it's pretty much optional. And then I'm also creating a database as well too. And database is, I'm creating a new database just to hold the table. So RFM underscore data underscore orders DB. So finding them as DB and table. Then I'm browsing through my S3 bucket and searching where data has been hosted. It's hosted in a table called RFM bank. So I just have it in here, and then I'm also going to be checking through, right? So what's the table type to start with? I'm going to leave it as this by default, and then the file type is CSV file. Then after that, I'm going to then upload that file. So the reason I'm uploading this file is because I want to see the column name of the file itself, right? I want to just copy and paste it. That's the only reason why. So I just open it on a typical Google Sheet for this purpose, copying the text from it and then also like putting it as a column name. Now I'm getting the different column name and then also assigning the data type as well too. So order type, order date, order ID. The data type is literally a voucher, I believe. Yes. And when putting a voucher, you also have to also include the length. So typically I'm just going to put 55 there. Then I'm going to then go on and collect the next get the next column name as well, which is customer. Customer is a string. I'm putting it in here just after customer. Right, and then the data type is a string, and the last column is called grand total. So grand total is typically a number, which is int. So the data type is going to be an int. So I can control grand total. Yes, so it's an int. So now we're going to see the table properties. So yeah, there's something I want you to see in here that's quite important, right? There's something called skip header, right? And skip header just means that you're able to, because when the data comes in, we don't want Athena to read the first header as part of the data, since it's just a column in itself. So what this will help us do is that it's going to help us just keep the first header. So we're going to ignore it and just have it start counting from the very first value, which is the very first order date that does exist in the table, right, in CSV. And after that, we can just preview the table generally, and we're having it in here. It all checks out pretty good, right? Then we just create the table, and that's it. Yes, and we can see our skip header is in there. So just create table. Great. Now that we have the table created, we can now review our table. Amazing. Okay, so we do have our order date as blank, so that's where the problem is, right? So because apparently Athena doesn't read it as a date in quotes because of how the format of the table is being brought in. What we're going to do here is that we're going to then change the format from a date format to a string so that we can read the table in Athena itself. So we're going to do this by opening AWS Athena, which just enables us to edit the data type itself, right? Because we have the data being brought in as a date, right? What we're going to do is we're going to define column as a string and then convert it, right, to desired result that we want using a select query. And pretty much that's what we're going to do in here. We're bringing in the table. We brought the table as a date, but now we're changing to a string using AWS glue, right? And just change date and then go to dates, change the column type, and then we put it as string. Perfect. Yes. Then we just update it and then we save, right? And that's that about it. So when we then go into our Athena, we are now going to have the table. I'm going to refresh the DB entirely to then see what the new table gives us, and then we preview the table, right? Running it again, and then we have it in here. We're good to go. Our table looks good. really good. So after that, we are now going to now let's inspect our data generally. Let's see what does our data comprise of, right? So in here we're inspecting the data, and we're doing this by first of all looking through each of the different. We're doing this by checking for distinct values pretty much, right? And we're going to do this across the order date column, across the order ID column, across the customer column, right? Across the grand total column as well. So pretty much that's what we're doing with this. And we are going to do just a select distinct order date from this. So select distinct order date from this. We have that in here. You can decide to run it if you want to run it, right? And then we run. Okay, so yes, these are all the distinct dates we can see in here. And what I'm going to do is just replicate the same process for the different column names. So let's just do same Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V for this purpose, right? So Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V, the path for, so get it for order ID, customer, grand total, and that's that. Customer, yes, and then grand total. And then we're just gonna run it. So you can literally just check it just to see what the other ID is, because it's just like a distinct count. So what distinct count framework does is that it enables us to see just unique values in the column itself, right? And also discard of customer. So it's more like you're literally like inspecting the data pretty much. Good. So yes, that's fine. Then we've done this. Our very next step would be to let's just see all the whole table again, just for the purpose of RFM underscore details. Yes, and then run it. So the very next step will be for me to just literally see what was the total sales, right? So what did the company itself make out of the different orders that was done? So what we can do is we're going to use a select statement here. So we're going to use the order ID for this purpose, and we're going to find the sum of all the grand total. So grand total is going to literally serve as our sales, right, for the table itself, right? So as total sales, and that's total sales, right? So that's the alias, that's what it's called. So as serves as an alias in SQL. Then we're grouping by order ID, because we want to see it by individual order IDs, right? So we want to see what the total sum of the sales were, and then we're going to order by 2 descending. So the whole point is we're ordering by 2, which is the total sales, and it's going to give us total sales from the highest to the lowest, right? And pretty much that's what the total sales is going to help us achieve in this case. Then run it, and let's see what the output is. Good. So these are the values, right, from different orders that we did receive. So the highest was 9999.0 for the sum, right? Then next step is let's go as total sales by author ID. So we're just going to recreate the same for the total sales by customer as well too, right? And we're just selecting the customer column and also doing a grand total of all the sales as well too. And pretty much just a copy and paste from the very first query we had there. And we're going to group by customer as well too. So we want to see what customer actually gave us like higher sales as well. So that we know, okay, this customer is actually bringing much more money by purchasing. So we're seeing that we have Steven Cartwright with 4,109 USD. Right, then we're just going to do the same thing for by year. So remember that our year is in the string format, right? So we're going to do the same thing, copy and paste it to select other date. We're using other date because we want to check by year, right? Not by year technically, I think it will be by day actually, not here guys. It's going to be by day pretty much. So if I run this in here, run this in here, and we have so we have this as well. So 2020, 2014, 1202. So that's in the month of December. So now let us start by defining our customer RFM status, right? So let's see what was for each customer. Now let's break it down, right, in terms of how recent did they purchase, how frequent they purchase as well. So let's do that in here. So we're going to be using a CTE, and before I go on, I want you to know that CTE means common table expressions, right? So what it does is that it serves as a temporary table. So it just holds the query temporary for us to use pretty much. So you do this by first of all defining by using a with and a name, whatever name you want to use, and then with an as, right? So with RFM status as, and then we're going to create just a select statement in there as well. I remember SQL just literally select pretty much. So we're going to select the customer, the sum of the sales as well too, right? And we're going to just name it as total sales, I believe. That's fine to do. And there was the average monthly value, not like it's important, but just cost of, right? So how much do each of the customers also bring in as well too. And then we also want to find, what is the count? So how often did they actually also purchase? And I'm doing this by using the frequency. You are using this by using the order ID, right? So how often or how frequent they purchase, and better to actually find this out by using the order ID. And then we're also finding like the most recent customer order dates. So when you're finding something, when you say the most recent, that you're always going to use max, right? So what was the last time they actually purchased? Then when you also say minimum, so that's like when was the very first time they purchased. So one thing you should note for regarding this is very important. I learned this on a Udemy course apparently. So we have this in here. So let's see. So you can literally always just run this, right? So we ran this select statement and we're saying that we have the total sales per customers, because we're grouping by one. It's the same Steve, Cartwright person that gave us total sales as well too. We have average monthly value of about 410.9. He shopped 11 times and his most recent customer order date was 2012, which is a long time as compared to, let's say, today, pretty much. Because we're using today as the most recent, right? For the recency calculation, where you start to calculate it eventually. So we're going to put this in here, and now that we have that, we're going to now create a subquery, right? So subquery is more like, when I say subquery, it's more like how do I explain it in most basic terms? So subquery means a query inside a query, right? So there's a main query, but then there's a subquery, so more like a secondary query inside a query, right? And we're doing this because we want to find the most recent order dates in the overall database, right? And literally that's just using the max. That's just literally doing the max dates in the table. Or better still, you can either just check the date entirely and also just limit by one and order by one as well too, in descending order. That way gives us the max as well too. So either of that also works as a subquery. And let's just do this. So in this context, I try to just do this by using a normal select statement of the date itself, right, from the table, and then I order by one. So ordering by one is just literally just ordering by the date itself, because we're only selecting the date itself, which we're calling that's the last order date, and then we're limiting it to one only, so that just populates the date as just one particular date for us, right, and the very first date itself. So we're going to get the most recent order date in here. So let's run the entire CTE and let's see what it gives. Let's see what it gives us. We have an error somewhere. Okay, let's see. Only one SQL statement is allowed, blah blah blah. Oh, I think let's go down. I had 2 semicolons, so I need to fix that. That's why. So I'm going to remove the semicolon that's there at the descending. There's a second semicolon, so just remove that quickly. Then let's see. So we now have, if you can see, we can now see our most recent order date in there, right? So what this means is it just populates all the most recent order dates according to the database for us as our most recent order date for all of the customers regardless, because the whole point is I want to find the difference of both. So that's good. What next? Let's see what we're going to do next. Let's see. All right, I think the next thing we can do is, now let's see, by finding let's change the date type, right? Let's do this by changing the date type of the most recent customer order date, because literally the most recent customer order date is still in the string format, but we want it as a date, so that when we do the difference of the most recent customer order date and also the most recent order date itself, it's able to make difference, because one is in a string and one is in a date format, but we want to make it both dates, so that's why I want to change the most recent customer order date in a date format, and that's what I'm going to do right now. So new RFM Status, I'm going to select total sales, customer to average monetary value frequency as well too, and then we're going to do something called a try date pass, right? So I'll show you something. It's the same thing we did in our subquery, where we pretty much just did a date pass. So date pass allows us to pass the date which is in a string to a date format in Athena, and Athena uses something called Presto, right? So that's the Presto DB, and that's what Athena uses. So if you encounter any error using AWS Athena, just always look at the Presto documentation. It's the same as Athena pretty much, I believe. So we're going to do try date pass. I'm just copy and paste it because I have it up there already. Try date pass, and we're going to then put our most recent customer order date, because that's the date that is currently in string that want to pass to dates, right? And we're going to use the format as shown in there, and we're going to just yes, in the month, date, year format. As new most recent customer date. Okay, let's run. Oh, sorry, I think I typed it as GROU. Okay, I'm going to change that and change it as GROUP. So it's all these little things that could be very annoying while using SQL. So let me just change that to P. So we're grouping by customer, total sales, average monetary value, frequency, and we see that we have converted the most recent customer order date to a date type, and now I just renamed the alias as new most recent just because of. Now let's say the RFM. So we're going to first of all now do this by getting the recency. So the whole point is, now that we have the most recent customer order date in a date format, we're going to now do the difference of both in this RFM CTE itself. So notice that all the while we're using CTEs. So I remember I told that CTE just serve as a temporary table for the purpose of this. So we're going to just do a difference of it pretty much. So it's called date div. So the div day, and then we're going to use the difference from the most recent customer order date and the most recent order date itself. So it's going to just minus so 2014 12/31 minus 2014 06/27 for Chris Curtis. That's what it does. It's just minusing from the most recent order date and also from the new most recent customer order date as well too, right? Then we're going to put it in here. Asterisk. So now we are seeing the difference, right? 14 days. So if we see very clearly 12/31 31, right, minus 17, 2014 31 minus 31st December 2014 is 14 days. If you do the difference, 17 plus 14 is 31. 30 plus 92 gives you 31st of December 2014. So that's, we can confirm that that's right. Now we're now going to calculate the RFM using the point, and yeah, I'm going to introduce something called NTILE. So NTILE is a function used in SQL, right, to just literally assign values based on what you want to rank them on, right? So let's just call this RFM calculation NTILE. Yeah, so just gonna search it out. Yes, so Geeks for Geeks is a very good common website I use for the purpose of just searching things out. Either Geeks for Geeks or W3 School. They are quite explanatory to understand. So what it says here is that it's a window function that distributes rows of an ordered partition into a predefined number of roughly equal groups, right? So it assigns each group a number expression ranging from 1. So NTILE literally function assigns a number expression for every row in a group, right? And it's a defined number of roughly equal groups. So it just equally assigns number across the different groups itself. So that's what NTILE does. And that's what we want, because we want to see, okay, out of, because we just want to group by 4, right? Using 4 as a maximum number. So assign just random, not random numbers, let's say, but equal groups across the different customers that we do have there, based on their recency, based on their frequency, and based on their monetary value, pretty much. So that's what we're going to do in here. So one thing you can see here is that they are in this example in Geeks for Geeks, they use divide above rows into 3 groups, right, for 1 through to 10. And what it's doing is just doing it around, it's doing it equally, right? So what you do is you use NTILE in bracket 3, and then assigns unique values of between 1 to 3 equally for the values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 equally. So let's look at the same instance when we're using NTILE 5. Using NTILE 5 here, we're saying that 1 and 2 is ranked as 1, 3 and 4 is ranked as 2, 5 and 6 is ranked as 3, 7 and 8 is ranked as 4, and 9 and 10 is ranked as 5. So just tells you how it equally groups numbers accordingly based on whatever you put in as your NTILE value. So in this case, we're going to use 4, like earlier stated. So we're doing that in here. So let's just run it and let's see what happens. Oh yeah, great. So we are saying that RFM recency, the additional column we just added in here now has 1, it has 3, it has 1, which is good. So it means that the query is working out well. Great, that's good. Okay, yeah. This is 8 because RFM recenses, I believe 8 value, 8 column in there, if I'm right. Then oh great, we are now seeing 4 in there, so it is good. It means that it's assigning the values as it should assign, right? And one thing you will notice that the data sort of seem dirty, like a customer data is having date values, total sales is empty, average monetary value is empty. So we have to fix a lot of that, right? So let me now run this. So now we're going to now be assigning the points. So we're going to do a sum. We're going to get all of the data from the previous city you just created, right, which is the RFM calculation underscore NTILE, and we are also going to be summing the individual points, right? Now the whole idea of this is just to ensure that the maximum any value can literally be is if you get 4. So the maximum value a customer can get is 12 at maximum, right? So that is if it's 4 plus 4 plus 4, that's 12. 4 plus 4, 8, yeah, 12. So that's what we just did, and then we're just also going to group them also as RFM point, just to say 141, 131, 213, 431. So the whole point of this is just to get the RFM points, and we did it using varchar. We just want them as variables as varchars, as characters instead of as numbers, so that we're able to concatenate them together. And here in Athena, you use a pipe symbol apparently. So now we're now going to do the RFM customers categories. Now that's the best part. So yeah, we are going to identify lost customers, loyal customers, customers who have potential of churning. So in this situation, the question is, how do we retain our customers to ensure that they do not leave us? How do we target the right customers as well too? For new customers, how do we get them to also use our new products as well too? Or how do we entice them to keep on shopping? So yeah, now that we have all of the different customers with their assigned RFM points, we're now going to group them as either lost customers, customers that cannot lose, right? And we're going to just group them based on different numbers, right? You can get these numbers online. I can just copy and paste it from my screen, right? So in here, we're using a case when statement. So a case when statement actually allows us to, so it's not like if else, right? If else is a general conditional statement. So do this if this, right? So case when is case when it is this, do this. So in essence, it's case when it is, let me say, A, then I want to do this, right? So in my scenario, when I'm assigning points, I want it case when RFM point is in any of these values, then it should be, say, lost customers. Or case when RFM point is in, let's say, any of other values, then I want it to tag as cannot lose customers, right? When it's these values, it should then be new customers. So case when is more like an if else statement, more like a conditional statement in SQL, and that's what it pretty much is. So I am just going to do that by identifying our different categories of customers. So now let's see what it gives us. So let's see my customer name who, okay, nice. So we're seeing that Zuzus Donatus is among customers that are lost, right? And we know what's lost customers, people who are lost, we know what we have to do to them. We have to ensure that we bring them back by probably putting out campaigns to entice them, discount for your next purchase, whatever. But it's actually like targeted marketing that RFM helps us to do, and not just put out random marketing for any of the customers, right? Also, let me see, let's check again for another customer scenario. So active customers, what can we do to retain our active customers, right? One thing we can pretty much do is to ensure that we do not lose these customers. So we have to maybe keep on putting out ads for them. Also let them try out like new products as well too, right? We want them to keep on purchasing and keep on spending on our website. And yeah, that's pretty much what the RFM helps us to do. It just helps us segment our customers, and I'll say that this is a very good and a beginner friendly data project. So starting out 2023, this is something you want to actually look into to work on, because this is, like I would always say, that if you're not able to, two things that is really good for your resume is literally any project that is really targeted in increasing customer base, as well as any project that's really good in also retaining our customers and also increasing market share, right? So in this case, we're able to see how we're also able to, in this RFM segmentation, we're able to see how we can retain our customer base, and that's what this project helps us to do. So now that we know where our customers actually fall into, right, we need to know how to reward them, or how to ensure that they do not leave our platform. For those who spend a lot and buy often, we can actually reward them, right? So what we can do is that they can be our word of mouth, right, in terms of evangelizing our product for us. And loyal customers, you can also ask them for their reviews as well too. So literally just engage them. So also those who are potential loyalists, what we can do this is by ensuring that we recommend them to other products as well, to right, like also engage them in loyalty programs. Then for new customers, ensure that we do not let them go. So either ensuring that our onboarding process is good, and UI UX to even shop on our website is also good. These are ways to ensure that they always come back when shopping. For those who probably need attention, right? So let's say that their recency, their frequency, or their monetary value is literally average. We can literally ensure that we share valuable resources to them and them also products as well as offer discounts. Then for those who are pretty much like below the average, we actually need to ensure that we reactivate them so that we do not lose them. For those who are literally at risk, one way we can do this is by ensuring that we send personalized messages to them. So think of your long lost friend who you've not spoken in a long time. We want to ensure that we are connecting them on a one-on-one basis, right? I'll also like share valuable resources as well too. And then we also have customers in there that we know that we cannot lose them, right? We need to win them back. What do? Is we make special offers to them. We make them feel valuable literally, and that's one way we can actually carry a marketing campaign for them. Ensure to like this video, gives a thumbs up, as this also makes my YouTube channel be seen to every other person who would also want to learn more about using AWS services as a data analyst and also query data